All right, check. Let's go. Yo, what's good, gamers? What's good? My name is Dr. Ryan Charles, Psych Sensei, and welcome to Reading with Ryan. Get a burp. Welcome to Reading with Ryan. And today we'll be reading about psychological skills in esports. But before we jump into that, if you want to learn more about me and what I do, or you want to work with me one-on-one, please visit my website, psychsensei.com. There, you can get all the socials, baby. Follow me on the TikToks, the LinkedIns, the YouTubes, the Facebooks, the Instagrams, whatever. You got it. I probably got it too. The blue skies, all of it. Follow me there. And also, if you want to work with me one-on-one, you want to figure out your win condition, you want to increase your psychological skills, sign up for your free consultation there too. I have my website, psychsensei.com. And honestly, those are my favorite conversations where we get to sit down and see what's kind of going on. And hey, at the very least, maybe we can put you in the right direction. Alright, to be honest, we'll see how far we can get in this bad boy. I did a 3-hour AMA a little bit earlier. I'm a little... Well, I wouldn't say a little suckered out, but my brain's definitely been worked. So we'll see how far I get. If I start slurring and stumbling over my words, I guess it's what we call it a day. Dobby is already in the lap skis. You know what he's doing. So I'm going to need to join him soon. Well, let's jump into this article, shall we? Alright. Okay, so this bad boy is titled Psychological Skills in Esports, Qualitative Study of Individual and Team Players. This comes from Bonilla, Chamorro, and Ventura, and this is coming out of Barcelona, so Espanol. Can we say we are multilingual, It's translated. Alright, and as always, bro, like, this is a conversation. This is more important things. So if you want to talk to me about other stuff, you want to derail this this stream, please do. Please talk in the comments. Sorry, the chat. And I'd rather talk with you and what you want to know versus just reading this thing. So if you got questions, hit me up. All right. Introduction. Although esports might seem to be a new phenomenon, their origin goes back to the beginnings of recreational use of video games, which took hold between 1962 and 1972. The first esports event was held in 1972 with players competing in video game Space Sport at Stanford University. It was actually a pretty cool one. I think it was like a circle and you have to dodge the asteroids. Since then, esports have become increasingly established in the world entertainment, have attained popularity with the general public, and developed the competitive ecosystems. Sponsors and online streaming platforms have invested considerable resources to position themselves within the esports ecosystem in order to reach a young audience that continues to grow in size, with an increased forecast from the current global audience of 72.88 million. 728.8 million to 920.3 million viewers in 2024. That's kind of nuts. I think I should probably use that for my presentation later at APA. This is evidence of esports' great social impact, which has sparked a great deal of interest in the field of psychology. In terms of psychological research, there has been a boom in scientific literature on the topic. While in professional fields, recent years have witnessed the establishment and definition of the role of sports psychologists within esports teams. I really wish that there could be more esports psychologists. I just think that it's a very specialized field. And don't get me wrong, I think sports psychologists are definitely equipped to work with esport athletes because sport performance, that's like their whole thing. But I feel like esport players or esport players are such a unique population and they need different things than traditional sport athletes just because of the different ways of competing and the different ways they use their bodies and mind to perform and the way they to train. I think it's a same but different. It's kind of like a dog is an animal, but not a border, like, a dog is an animal, but we're talking about border collies. Maybe that's a bad example, but it's kind of like animals to dogs to cats. They're both animals, but they're two different beasts. You know what I mean? Within the existing literature of sports psychology and esports, there have been multiple focuses of interest such as motivation, passion, performance, multidisciplinary work, and the current state of research and its future challenges. I really miss working on a multidisciplinary team. I think that was so fun. However, there is little research and knowledge on the psychological aspects involved in the performance of players and teams. In this time of research, the most relevant topics are A. The relationship between training and performance in competitors, the role of emotions in performance, and the psychological skills needed to perform. As in traditional sports, in esports, it is necessary to identify the key psychological skills at work in order to create specific training programs that optimize and enhance player performance. Himmelstein divided the psychological skills displayed by League of Legends players into two main blocks. Ooh, Hammerstein. Psychological skills for... Dang it. Psychological skills for optimal performance and obstacles. Is that like dealing with obstacles? Just the obstacles are there? Okay. Fanfairly, in a study of Overwatch players, divided skills into two categories. Mechanical skills and game sense skills. I would also, me personally, I would separate... Maybe I'll just write here. These are great. I think we can even go simpler to... excuse me. That's it. I think it just comes down to mechanics versus mental. And what I mean by that is like because esports is such a mentally taxing, cognitively involved activity, not saying that traditional sports are not. All I'm saying is that because I think there's more mental cognitive skills because you're using more fine motor skills than gross body, and you're like 1 degree separated from the activity itself, I think that's why it's more mental, because you have to understand it, you have to be able to mentally manipulate it, and then be able to execute it with your fine motor skills, your mechanics. So, yeah, I mean, I do think these are awesome ways. I just would separate it more simply. Whoa! What's up, baby? Long time no see. How you been? I know, it's kind of my fault too, Evelyn. I mean, I've been streaming a lot, but I hope you've been alright. I hope the sound sounds better too. But what's good, baby? I hope you're doing alright. I know it's like nighttime for you too. If we go beyond the individual games to identify more general factors, the relevant skills related to performance would seem to be mechanics. This is my definition. I should have used this earlier. Mechanics referring to the technique that players need in order to be able to correctly execute the challenges posed by the esports. Mouse movement or specific combination of keys. And B, emotional control. Tilt control. I still would put that under mental. Darn, it's still bugged in my browser. Oish. Oh, she Evelyn is in an unlikely place. I know, the whole gang is here, man. We're just missing Ultralisk, and we have the whole gang here. I hope everyone's chilling. Sorry about your thing, Rainbow Meowie. I saw that your post was like, I don't know how to help you. I'm barely struggling, trying to keep my PC on. Alright, dealing with situations of frustration, anger, and impotence that distract players and decrease their overall performance. D, team communication, and E, lifestyle management. You know what was really interesting? I did a AMA today in the Voltaic server, and I got a lot of questions about like how to be a good teammate. And I feel like from those questions, it's really interesting because at a certain level, gaming is a team sport. And then how do you become a good teammate if you've never been trained to be a good teammate? Or like there's no like youth esports that kind of teaches you like this is how you play, this is how you get coached, this is how you like do all the like become like here's good esportsmanship, you know what I mean? Because I mean you get taught that in like regular sports, or even like maybe learn the natural law of consequences in the playground, but like there's no teaching of like here's how you play games good with other people. Because the other thing that's really interesting too is like a lot of dudes don't talk about their problems, you know what I mean? And so like a common theme was, oh, I don't like that this person does this, what do I do? How do I tell them? And I was like, okay, well, what are you afraid of? Well, I don't be cringe, I don't be weird. Yeah, but then you blow up at them and then you make it weird. So like, you don't want to talk to them? Or what's hard about talking to them? You know? Or what happens if they don't follow through? Or like I have these assumptions they don't care. It's like, oh, that's really good. Good insight. Okay, what if you shared those things with that person? Maybe your assumptions would be true or false. I don't know. We don't know because like we haven't spoke about it. Like most gamers have main character syndrome. Maybe. I wonder, okay, another old fucking millennial thought too is like, I wonder how growing up with cameras and social media and all that kind of stuff has like created more main characters, you know? Because I remember it was like not, like when someone had a camera, first of all, they're freaking expensive, like how it was different, and yet, yeah, you would act differently around some of the camera, but because everyone's got a camera on their phone, I wonder how that's changed society. Like, this is a crazy social experiment, you know? And by the way, whoever said, like, you'll never have a calculator in your pocket. Boom, bitch! Calculator in my pocket. It's a fucking camera. It's everything, baby. Alright. However, oh, you know what else is really funny? I dated myself. In that AMA, I was like, oh yeah, everyone's a gamer. Like, if you play Bejeweled. Oh my god, who plays Bejeweled? But I did see this other funny thing where it's like, oh, what apps did you have before social media? Like, remember the iPod Touch came out and you had that beer drinking app? That was such a cool app. Or like, Fruit Ninja. Remember when Fruit Ninja was lit? That was a cool app. I remember I had this like track and field app that was really fun. That's gone now. Or was it Temple Run? Remember when Temple Run was next level? There was no calculator rules, suck for my dyscalculia ass. Mental math is impossible. Bro, I still use my fingers. And here's another secret. If I have to alphabetize something, I have to sing the song in my head. A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, J, K. I have to sing it. Like, I wish I could be like, okay, this goes here. I mean, obviously, if it's A and Z, I got that. But if it's like, I don't know, A and F or something, like, or E and F, like I have to sing the song. Like I wish I didn't have to sing the song, but A, B, C, D, F, G, yeah. So I feel you. Excuse me. Alright, however, neither of the two studies go further in this sense of proposing a model that relates the different skills with performance. Such a model could then be compared with models proposed in traditional sports, thus allowing for the creation of specific training programs for esports. I don't want to, like, be a bummer, but I feel like when they say this, like, yes, at the same time, I feel like you have to rip esports from the ground up, or, like, start with kids or high school, because by the time, or college even, because by the time they get to pros, it's really hard to train them because they don't want to do stuff. And you're paying them an exuberant amount of money and they're like, I don't have to do this. I also never eat shredded wheat still. But shredded wheat is so good. Like frosted shredded wheat. That stuff slaps, bro. That stuff slaps. Growing up, I would say that a staple cereal was like Frosted Flakes, honeycomb when they were bigger. Oh, honeycomb. But I am a regular. I know this is a hot take too. I'm a regular Cheerio kind of guy because I like to eat it dry too, like a bebe. So if you're a honey nut, that's kind of mid in my opinion. But it does give me the farts. Yeah, I like those, but that's was how they got us to remember NSCW. What? Really? Shredded wheats? Never eat shredded wheats. I thought I was never eat soggy worms. That was it. That was us for school. Cause like, why would you? I always eat shredded wheats, but not soggy worms, bro. I also remember when I thought news, like, did you know news, like, stands for north, south, east, west? Cause you have to hear about everywhere. I thought that was like next level too. Stupid. Remember when those fun facts used to hit differently? You know, and you hear those fun facts, like, did you think about this? Oh man. Or what's the other one? What's the largest organ in your body? Like that one, and you always used to like freak people out, be like, your skin. Ooh, good times. That's another thing that's really interesting to me too. Like, why esport athletes are sometimes so anti about like doing different things than they've done before. And I wonder too, like, that also, I guess, makes me wonder and reflect in my own life. What are some things that like people tell me to do that I'm like, I'm not gonna do that? Never eat sour watermelons, bro, or only eat sour watermelons because they slap, bro. The sour watermelons were like, it's like Sour Patch Kids, or like at home we used to have like sour watermelons, and then we put like lihing mui, which is like that red plum powder on top that gives you cancer. Delicious. Another one that slaps too, if you like lihing mui, is lihing mui and pineapples. That shit slaps. Lihing mui, apples, that shit slaps. Lihing mui on like wet fruits, slap. So what we're seeing is it's always never eat, but the rest of varieties of school. Yeah, absolutely. Dude, lihing mui is good, minus the cancer. But maybe that's what makes it taste so good. You know, maybe the can. I mean, I'm not RFK, but maybe that's what makes it taste good. Maybe cancer is good in taste, but not for body. I'm pretty sure it's really bad for you because this is pretty much like red. It has to be the red, right? It has to be the red that's really bad for you. But try it. Apples. I even think you can use it with Granny Smith apples. But yeah, my favorite is the you can do it with the canned pineapples, like the circles, or you can do it with the just slice up your own pineapple if you want that. It's so good. It's so good. It makes your fingers all red, so the suggestion is you eat it with chopsticks. A lot of the time you can make a non-cancery version of stuff, but it's more expensive and harder, and you know they are about profits and ease. Yeah, that's true. I think the real lihing mui is like brown. Maybe like putting brown powder on your food is like not as appetizing. Do you remember? I don't know if you're this old too, but when I was a kid, they just came out with like purple and green ketchup, and I wanted it so bad. Like I told my mom that I wanted to eat that ketchup, and then she bought it. I think it was purple, and I couldn't eat it. And then my dad, he was like, "Oh, we have to eat this ketchup," and he tried to eat it. He couldn't eat it either. Like how you don't need MSG for flavor, but it's fast and cheap and simple. It's hard for the 1%. Me, literally intolerant of it. I'm a little older than you, but obvious do remember those. Yeah, I think my internet is like shit. I think it also might be this. I might want to turn this off, maybe? We'll see if that works. I was having problems earlier today, too. But, hopefully it comes back. Hopefully it comes back. I don't know why today is the day. Even my AMA today was kind of like rough. My 2 cameras, I mean, I was trying to run 2 cameras and maybe it was going to bend, but thanks for coming back. For me, yeah, it's definitely me. It's my fault. It's definitely my fault. So apologies. Thanks for hanging in there, friends. Can I just close some windows? Is that the key here? Maybe that's it. Maybe that is it. We shall hope and we shall pray. I'm gonna close this too. Let's just close everything. How's that? Oh, side note, I know this is not like exactly what this stream is about, but if you haven't, if you have HBO, like streaming or Hulu, you gotta watch the thing on Pee Wee Herman, bro. Dude, that thing is crazy. Great documentary. Super sad that he died, but great documentary on Pee Wee Herman. All right. Where was I before I got distracted of licking moe and taste in my mouth? Here. Okay. Due to its lack of structure and the absence of a model that allows researchers and psychology professionals to know how performance is achieved and maintained in esports, it is difficult to support or develop programs that allow players to optimize their performance. I hate how reload player always just freezes up and have to refresh the whole page and then get an ad. Thanks for your 2 cents, though. I think at the end of this year is like, congratulations, you made like 5 cents. Good time. So I appreciate your cents, man. I appreciate it. I hope the ad was good. If they gave it to you, right? I mean, I'm just pretending they did. And it's like, thank you. Because we do it for the love here. You know, like, this is a passion project. This is not like I'm trying to make a living off of this. Maybe I should be more serious about it. You know, or like, I'm trying to be more, like, consistent in it. I can see them being like, she already watched 15 minutes ago. It doesn't count. Yeah, that's what I thought too. I mean, not I thought too, but like, one sad thing was, I had for my YouTube, right? I sometimes scroll how many real plays I get, and it'll say like 500, and then I'll reload it and be like 200. I'm like, whoa, what happened to 300 views? And you're like, oh, it just like estimates how many people watched it, not like actually. I was like, oh, sad. Good times. Alright, for this reason, there's a need to delve into greater detail into psychological skills that are relevant to players in different esports to find a first model that is able to connect these psychological skills with optimal performance. The development of a theoretical model would allow the results to be contrasted and make it possible to draw connections between existing concepts in psychology and esports while differentiating these established concepts from the newly emerging concepts in psychology that are specific to esports. What? Okay, what I got from that is like they want to make a model. That's what I got from that. Alright. This study is intended to address that need. It is to detect the psychological skills used by players in 3 of the main esports. League of Legends, Hearthstone, and FIFA. I didn't know those were the 3. Me personally would have said something like CS. I feel like CS is a huge esport. League of Legends is big. What's another one? I feel like what's bigger than... I guess Overwatch, unluckily, is like really, really big. The reason I say unluckily is because like the game is always changing and it's always like on the rocks. It's really good. Bro, right? That's what I'm saying. Hearthstone isn't that dead now for esports? That's what I was thinking, bro. Anything like Blizzard based, you know what I mean? Not the greatest. Honestly, if they even did like what was that one? That mobile game, something Bang Bang, which is basically like League of Legends but for mobile. That's a huge one. All right. Representative of the 3 most relevant esports genres, both socially and competitively, the categories of games that attract the majority of professional esports players. This process will make it possible to create a first model that explains the relationship between optimal performance, psychological skills, and other variables of esport players. Bro, I feel like TFT is even bigger than freaking Hearthstone. But it's not the size that matters. It's not the size that matters of the game, alright? Where was I going? Oh, here. Optimal performance. What? Hello? Optimal performance, psychological skills, and other variables in esports. Okay. By the way, the chat overlay being on screen during reading with Ryan makes it hard to read along. Yeah. Should I make it like to the side, you think, and have it kind of like this? And like keep it like this, and then just make my face smaller, and so the article's here and the chat's there and I'm down there? Give me a thumbs up if that's a move. Because I also have to try to figure out how to make this like smaller so I can also stream it on top of TikTok. Because I have multi-stream enabled. Because that's what's up. One of the TFT casters actually used to be a high school caster. A Hearthstone caster. So I think their esports kind of died a while back. Bro, a lot of Rocket League casters, you know, are trying to jump into like Valorant, or I saw like there's some Pokemon Unite casters, or like Pokemon Go casters. You know, it's crazy that, you know, there's casters for these things, but I wonder how those stable those jobs are, you know what I mean? But yeah, I wish in another life, if I really want to study and like be loud and stuff, because I tried to cast for Here's of the Storm back in the day because it was really, really fun. I turned it off for reading with Ryan, but you could also make a scaled window for the reading covers the middle, so it's behind your. It's not behind your either. Yeah. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. So I could do that. I could do that. It might make the edits easier too, because I have to like edit it myself, you know. I DC'd again? What? We'll be back. Okay. Today's one of those days. Today's one of those days, man. I have no idea why. Oh yeah, it did kick me out after 20 minutes. I see it. That sucks. I wonder if it's a Streamlab. Play-by-play, Ryan's connection, lol. Honestly, bro. Okay. Alright, allowing for the creation of specific and tailored psychological training programs and exercises. You know the thing, though? I think the most challenging thing for, like, esports in general is, like, what mental skills can you practice as a team? Okay, breathing and, like, self-regulation, yes. At the same time, when I think about psychology and performance, it's all about like creating a system for a player that's really individualized. So it's... Oh, this is so shit. I have no idea why my internet's being like this. I do not. Okay. Let me try restart this. I'll BRB. Dude, also, it's my keyboard. I wonder if my keyboard is doing some shit. I wonder what it is. That's so weird. Oh? This is so weird. I have no idea. I kind of want to watch to see what happens. I'm like sweating now. Maybe because it's hot and it's... Oh yeah, it reset for a minute. They're not gonna give me those cents, bro. I'm never gonna see those. I am never gonna see it. Yeah, that's so shit. I wonder why it keeps bugging in my browser. Huh. Well, we shall see. If it does it one more time, I guess that's a wrap for us. I'm gonna try and keep it open and see. This is really discouraging and odd. I wonder why. I wonder why. Because even my Discord is closed. Everything's like closed. There will almost certainly be a rest period to prevent people with chain watching ads to give money. That's a thing? I didn't know that's a thing. And you know what we call those though? Homies. Those would be homies, bro. Alright. Well, if it goes down again, it might be a wrap. We'll see. Cause I'm pretty sure that it's gonna be hard. Okay. It might be a sign. Even Twitch is like, bro, you like talk for 3 hours earlier. It's time for you to like stop talking, go to bed. I still have so much to edit, man. I'm so behind on my socials. It's so embarrassing. All right. In order to relate psychological skills to performance, we use the model proposed by Palmy and Rivera as a basis. This model describes an optimal state of performance of athletes using 7 competencies. Competencies that allow athletes to self-regulate in competition situations: activation control, attention control, thought control, communication, goal control, behavior control, and emotional control. But yeah, overlay, do you make it or buy it or use one of those websites that make it yourself for free? Oh, I definitely use preloaded ones by Streamlabs, bro. This is a Streamlab dedicated overlay. Not the chat, though. The chat's just kind of there because I don't think they really make overlays or something like this. It would have to be something like this, where the article is here, it like where my face would be, and then the chat, and then I don't know where I'd be. I'd be somewhere else. But I feel it just looks so empty, you know? But I mean, I guess that's like how it's gotta be. Alright, given this study uses a qualitative methodology, it is important that we position ourselves with the field of knowledge. This perspective of the researchers is based off a positivist vision. Post-positivision. Postivit? What? Where an analysis is intended to offer explanations and predictions, in this case about the performance of esports players, all this striving to ensure that there is a maximum of human error. A minimum of human error. Post-positivist. You know I can't read. Due to the limitations in the rigor of traditional qualitative methodologies, it was decided to carry out a thematic codebook analysis. Thus, we based the analysis on previous literature to minimize the possible biases of researchers when identifying psychological skills. Finally, a flexible version was adopted to allow topics to be added or adapted to reality as it was reflected in the interviews, thus generating an inductive deductive analysis methodology. I know, it helps. It helps, little bro. Thanks, bro. Alright, Big N. Big N. 10 players, all dudes. Yay. Don't worry, for my women out there, I have a study about ladies that I can read later on. Okay. He contracted, okay. Spain. Alright, they did interviews. Okay. Questions first part, gathered information. I guess it's demographics. The sport each participant played, how they started to play it, and how they evolved to reach its current level. Second part is the skills needed to perform the training and competitions, main difficulties. They all played League of Legends, Hearthstone, and FIFA too. I mean, I feel like if they just did all League of Legends, it might have been more helpful, because then you had like 10 of the same, but 2 FIFA, like that's a really small end, even for FIFA. I guess like they're making it more generalized to esports, but eh. Okay. They contacted esports club, informed consent. Okay, then they did semi-structured interviews. They recorded them. Here it is. That's what they did. No, thank you. Sick. Alright. Give me the results. Because my guess is they did the interviews and then they coded it, right? Booby Shin, so sheepy boy. Okay. Results. That's what we want. That's what we came here for. Alright, components of optimal performance. For the analysis, we can see that the skills associated with optimal performance in esports players have been divided into 3 dimensions. First, there are tactical skills. Okay, that's our definition here. Excuse me. I can make simple overlays. Oh, really? If you know how to slap PNGs on animated ones are too much effort. Speaking actually of those animated ones, maybe strain your system since yours a little weak. But anything pre-existing edit, really? Ooh, okay. Dude, I see. I gotta like what does Boring typically stream, bro? Tell him to stream more often. Tell him to stop doing law stuff and like tell him like play more. I gave up on TFT. Like I thought I was gonna do it. I just totally gave up, bro. I gave up. Not at all nowadays. Only when it was competing in TFT. Dude, I like stopped looking at it. The new set looked fun. And I was like, this is too crazy. Okay, defined here as the skills and knowledge of a particular esport are mostly specific at that sport. Meaning they're not shared with other sports. This component can be divided into technique, the mechanics, how well you move, or time finishing. You said I can't play because photosensitivity risk. Really? It's crazy? Is that wild? Okay. Tactics. Technique, tactics. And is that it? I thought there's 3. I'm gonna just make, okay. Oh, there, not 3. There are. I don't have any known seizures. Oh, yeah, it's not bad. Jeez. Don't do that then. Okay. Okay. Okay, that's good. 3 categories. Technique, tactics, and knowledge. I like that. Technique, tactics, and knowledge. Tic-tac, no. Ah, I get it. That's a good one right there. Tic-tac, no. Okay. Being good at it is not good as being good at is not enough. Being good at it is not enough because you also have to know why things are done. Or, for example, I'm focusing on getting to know the players better at their stats. The second dimension refers to psychological skills. Yes. Okay, so that's actually like mechanical knowledge and how you apply it. Now we're talking about psychological skills, defined as the resources that allow players to have good mental ability to face competition and training situations. They have a very aggressive bright green-orange glitch. Ew. That appears on like 60% of the screen at many points. It's just a way to pass any photosensitivity guidelines by Microsoft and you, for example. Ooh. Don't do that. Choose life. Don't have seizures. That's a pro tip. Doctor's orders. Okay. This component is divided into a total of 8 skills, which will be analyzed in detail in the following section. Because of the relevance and the fact that they are the object of study, the last dimension refers to healthy habits. Okay, so they broke it down like 3 areas. And the action players take care for themselves and maintain their health, especially in competitive situations. That I do not feel bad, that I don't have pain, no stomach pain, no headache, nothing abnormal the way I am now. This dimension is divided into nutrition. The body has to be fed well, and rest. I really wish they made a tree for us. Because, oh, I guess they're going to go into different headings. That's good. No, they didn't. That's a lie. That is a lie. They did not. I wish they did. Or is this it? They did not. Okay. So, technical skills, psychological skills, and healthy habits. Those were the 3. Why did they not, like, branch them out? I'll write them here. Okay, so they had, technical. Try saying that 3 times fast. Technical, tactical. Then they had psychological skills. Psychological, and then 3 healthy habits. Yo, I really wish I read this article or could have given this article so that one of the players that was in the voltaic thing where they're trying to break down like, oh, my aim is really important, and what I was trying to emphasize was like the psychological skills or like the mental skills might be more important than just the aim, but we got stuck. They really want to focus on their aim, so I was like, okay, all right. Psychological skills. A count has been made to find out the frequency of each of the skills, and an average of the frequencies was calculated to identify the skill that the participants found most relevant. In order of importance, the psychological skills are, okay, attention control, understood as, oh god, understood as a player's ability to concentrate and direct their attention resources to the specific action that they are performing in esports. This is especially important to sustain this ability during substantial stretches of time, because during competition, players must consistently maintain this focus by approximately 45 minutes at a time. Yes. Okay. Interesting. Emotional control, which is defined as the ability to manage adverse situations in esports, especially control of tilt. Okay, in order to ensure that these situations don't affect performance while training or competing. I like that. But you know, the thing that they another skill that they didn't mention here that's like super duper important is the skill of cognitive endurance, because attention control takes energy, emotional control takes energy, you know what I mean? Like, all these skills take energy. All of these skills take energy. Okay, here tilt is defined as a set of negative emotions that have an intense impact on all their areas of performance. C. Activation control is the ability to face situations of great psychological stress, such that they do not affect performance, especially mechanical performance. Fair. Okay, and D. Communication has the ability to establish effective communication channels and patterns in order to keep the team informed of both individual and group situations. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna finish this paragraph, and then I think I'm gonna go. My brain is, like, fading, bro. Okay. I wish I was stronger. I really do. Okay, you know what? I think I'm gonna stop here because my computer is like dying. All right. I did it. I did it. I tried. My computer's failing me, and so is my brain. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to pick this up next time or on Friday. We're gonna try to finish this bad boy. But my poor computer is like frying. But thank you, Rainbow Meow, for coming. Thank you for helping me with my computer. And my goal is to come back on Friday with some rest. I think talking for 3 hours and then trying to stream was a mistake. But I tried. You know, I tried. I said I was going to do the schedule, and I did. So I'm happy with myself. But I'll be back next week, Friday, 6 p.m. PST, and try to pick it up. But I love you. Thanks for coming. If you want to work with me, visit my website, psychsensei.com. Remember, stronger reds wins, and I'll see you then. Bro, I need some coffee, or I need some sleep. I'm toasted. Alright, love you. Take it easy. Bye!